money, and
It's insane.
branding and jerseys and esports just in general is just like, holy crap, this is the next football. This is the next baseball.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jesse Nyberg podcast. Today I have on JediGreg. He is a talented esports designer. He designs all kinds of dope mascots, emotes, very involved in the gaming world. So I wanted to bring him on to get a little perspective on that. So how you doing, man?
Pretty good, Jesse. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
I'm digging the Demon Slayer shirt.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Big weep.
You're from Arizona, right?
Correct. Just moved to Phoenix in the Valley.
So you're not dying anymore? It was like
no.
in the summer.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was horrible. I mean, on a good day, you'd be like 106. That's like a nice, chilly, breezy day.
You're like, oh, it feels great out.
Yeah.
What were you doing before that? Or, I mean, sorry, where were you living before that?
So originally from East Coast, New York, Pennsylvania. Moved out. Moved out west right after high school. Is either college or go to California and try and make it in the skateboarding career. And then, California didn't work out and ended up in AZ because I had some family out here.
So I saw that. I was looking into your bio because a couple people I've had on I know really well, and others, this is like our first time meeting other than talking online. Yeah. And I was reading your little like intro on your portfolio, and it said 12 years like design or something, and it said like skateboarding and whatever. Yeah. So what were you doing before you got into all the gaming stuff?
Actually, photography. That was my goal. I wanted to be in skateboard magazines. I wanted to get pictures from Thrasher, Transworld, all that. That was the goal. That's why I originally moved out to California, because that's where you go if you want to make it in the skateboard community.
So were you a skater yourself, like back in the day?
Yeah. I was more of the filmer / photographer, but
still had to ride around though and follow.
Yeah. And I had a couple parts. I wasn't a complete poser.
Yeah.
But I had a good time. I still skate from time to time, go to the skate parks really, but these old bones don't really like the street as much anymore.
Yeah, I was surprised reading, because when I was reading your description, it said 12 years, and then I started to think like, I feel like you're older than I assumed. I thought you were only like, are you in your 20s or how old are you?
Yeah, I'll be 29 next April.
Okay,
next
cool.
April, yeah.
And so what happened with the skateboard? Like, how did you transition into design from the photography world?
I actually went to trade school originally in high school. They offered it, so you go half, general studies and then half trade. And they had cosmetology, they had mechanic school, you learned to fix on cars, and they had graphics, arts, and communications. So I originally picked up Photoshop way back then in high school. And with that, I also wanted to work in that kind of went hand in hand with photography, Photoshop, photo manipulation, and work in magazines and stuff. So I was like, maybe if I can't take the pictures, I can work on the editing and, making the actual layout for the pages. So high school came around, I got more into photography than anything. I was taking pictures of all my friends. I was really liking them. Instagram, I hate to admit this, but was kind of pretty new at the time. So I was like trying to get that going and whatnot. Moved out west. Wasn't feeling California. It just wasn't my scene. Tried Arizona, met a bunch of dudes that skated, took pictures of them and whatnot. And I actually got 2 photos published in the magazines, not Transworld or Thrasher. It was like a local magazine. But a lot of those dudes I skated with actually were in bands and music, and I started doing their concert posters and doing their band logos and their albums. And that was just from past experience from high school and just messing around. I never did too much besides, little edits here and there. But then I moved on to Illustrator, and that's when the logo design really started picking up. I was like, this is amazing. This is so fun. Like everything's so clean looking. And then it eventually turned into, gaming has always been a part of my life ever since I was a little kid. N64 days, Sega Genesis was my first console.
Nice.
I'd always loved to see it grow, and it finally has. Now we're a little bit older, and like there's competitions with thousands and millions of dollars in prize money and branding and jerseys and esports just in general is just like, holy crap, this is the next football. This is the next baseball. I want to be a part of a team. And that's the goal eventually, to be a part of a team and do their branding and do their design work for their websites or whatever it might be. So that's the eventual goal, but it started on Twitch because that's where, most of the content creators are in the gaming world. And they need logos, they need branding, they need to grow their brands. So
So when you started on Illustrator, not too long after that, did you kind of get into the like gaming and Twitch scene, or were you doing like anything else? Or because I feel like you have a very unique style, and I think you bring a fresh perspective to like the world of badge design. Like I really like the color choices you use. I like the noise. Like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
The noise is like I'm so sick of everything being so shiny. You know, I really like clean. That. Yeah. So how did you develop that?
I think the noise specifically, I love taking photos at high ISO. I love that grainy, filmy look. Even though I have this nice, expensive camera that's supposed to be perfect quality, I just love that. It gives it almost more of a mood. You know, it's almost nostalgic in a way. And I think that even in the design world helps a little bit too. Because even if you do Photoshop and you put like a paper texture over or something, and it's like that looks like you can reach out and grab it. It's not so plain and on the computer. And yeah, I do get that a lot. You know, my mascots aren't mascots. My logos aren't. It's a weird hybrid. People tell me, but they like it, and it's kind of worked out. So I like it. As far as drawing and stuff, I never picked up a pencil or paper like until after high school. Like I just hated drawing. It was not good. I love anime, obviously. I'd love to draw that and do manga, but it just never fit with me. But when I actually started doing the logos first, and then people were like asking for more harder stuff and like more customizable stuff. And it was like, okay, I got to pick up a pencil and start drawing this stuff instead of freehanding on Illustrator. It just wasn't working out.
I like seeing when you do it from kind of sketch to digital sketch to like the vector, because I suck at drawing. Like that's definitely, it took me years to realize it's kind of, I should just leave that to the illustrators. Like I don't have to know how to do that. For a while I was like, damn, how am I going to do design if I can't draw like crazy portraits and things. So but when I saw like your style, I respected it a lot. And do you ever feel, lost my thought, but do you ever feel that when you're, because you create on Twitch a lot, do you ever feel that when you're in front of the audience, does it give you any like pressure, or does it influence you in any weird ways?
A little bit, especially at the start. You know, other artists would come in, and that's the good thing about Twitch. The art community is so solid. Everyone's super nice. You know, they'll give their input, they'll give you tips and tricks, and I've learned a lot that way, which has helped a whole ton. But at first I was like, oh my gosh, someone's going to come in here who's been doing this forever and just be like, what are you doing? This looks stupid. Like at first, lots of pressure. But now that I've built a bit of a community, it's more people like suggesting ideas.
Regulars too?
Yeah, exactly. Lots of regulars. I had maybe 5 people backs for the longest time just watching me doodle. And that's when it was the most, I would say, anxious feel, because I was like, oh God, who's going to come in here and make fun of me? But now we're sitting, 50 to 100 people each stream just watching me do my thing. And it's really grown. It's really nice. I didn't mean that to be like a humble brag or anything, but the growth is really cool to see. And again, it's gotten the bad vibes, I guess, out of my system.
Yeah, that's good. I've mostly been doing YouTube, but I've been trying to get a little bit more into the live streaming, but I'm the same way. I feel I don't have like an insane draw yet. So when it's like 3 to 5 and I'm not like doing everything perfect, I'm like, shit, getting super nervous.
Like, what's happened? Why is no one watching me?
Or if you're doing like the parts of your design, like that aren't as like fun or whatever, like you're just working on like the type and things. And I'm just like, I hope no one's like bored or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's always you have to like learn how to talk to yourself almost. It's like chat's not moving, nobody's talking, nobody's bringing up anything. Literally just like pretend someone's there. I know it sounds weird, but it's good practice, and it gets you ready for like the real life situation.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to. I want to try to get to the point where, because I like just talking to people and I want to be able to design, but it doesn't have to be the forefront of everything. It doesn't have to be the most interesting thing. It can be more about like me just messing around, mood boarding, like designing smaller things and having like a community to talk to, because it's definitely hard to do that talking to nothing.
Yeah, big time. And what's helped me the most was getting like, if you see my Instagram, I do like the design, and then I do the sketch, the process on Procreate, which is super simple. It just does it for you. But I always do the sketch first, so I have like a base layer of what I'm going to do. Bring it on on Twitch, do the line work, color it, highlight shadows. I just have like this process now, and it's like the same thing every single stream.
Yeah.
And on those days where I do like, hey, I want to try something else. I've never done this before. I get like not sweaty, but like it's just like, oh man, like people are watching me and don't know what I'm doing, and but again, some people are in my chat. I have quite a few designers that'll be like, hey, try this, like, and I've touched tools in Illustrator I've never even seen before.
Right.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope. I talked to on episode 2 of this, I interviewed this guy Stigil, sorry. He does a lot of cool stuff, and he's been streaming a little on through Procreate. He does his entire process in there, but he'll always come in with the sketch. He was like, it's way too nerve-wracking to go in there with the white piece of paper.
I gotta be in my zone, music on, no one bother me, sketch it out, and then I can do my thing. Cool.
And so you game on there too. Is that just like kind of your off day thing, or are you doing anything serious with that or anything?
Yeah, exactly. So Monday through Thursday, all artwork and commissions if I have them. It's been pretty busy lately. Every single day I almost have something to work on. But if I don't, I'll like pick something game wise because Twitch loves games. I just did like this May Overwatch piece, and she's just a character who got a new skin for the holidays. Right. So you get the holiday design in, you get the gaming crowd to enjoy it, and then I just get to do something fun, not have to worry about someone in the chat, because the people that I work commissions on will be in chat and be like, hey, can you change this color? Hey, I don't like that, blah, 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 blah. So it's like live feedback, which is a little nerve-wracking, but at the same time, really cool.
I don't think I would like that at all.
Yeah. Most of the time, they're really chill about it. Especially, you got to think these are all gamers and stuff. But to get back on the games, so Monday through Thursday, artwork. Fridays is my chill day. I just game. I'm usually playing something different each week, just trying something random. I'm a big FPS guy. I don't like, with certain games, you really have to pay attention and get into the story. And like, with Twitch, especially with Twitch, I think I read somewhere and they're like, put 80% of your brain towards chat and pay attention to them more than the game. As weird as that sounds, but like you want to have them involved as much as possible. So if I'm doing a brainless game like an FPS and just shooting and dying and shooting and dying, I don't have to pay attention as much. It's just fun.
Yeah, I've played on Twitch before, and I definitely do worse when I'm streaming because I'm trying to look and see what people are saying. Right. And you want them to feel like they're involved in the community, because that's like the whole draw to it and everything.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's definitely not somewhere I thought I would end up with the design world, but it's definitely, I'd say, a unique one, and not many people realize the platform. Twitch is growing, gaming is growing, the esports is growing, and I think it's a good place to start, definitely, for anyone.
Yeah, and I feel like I was looking also at some of your like kind of your pricings and things like that, and I feel like you're for your talent, I feel like your pricing's like fair to the client for sure. And so, but because I've heard and I've worked with a couple, I don't do a lot of stuff within gaming, but I've worked on a couple, and I feel like I've heard some horror stories there in terms of like pricings and things. Like have you heard any, like, have you experienced anything like that?
A little bit here and there, but it's just Fiverr, honestly. Half of my clients are like, hey, I bought this on Fiverr, I'm pissed, can you help me? And it's like, I mean, that sucks for them, but it's bringing me, customers and clients. But really, that's it. I hate to say it, and it's great if you're doing good on there. I'm not trying to put anything against it. But it's the Walmart of the design world almost. You get the cheapest, the people that are working for literally pennies on the dollar. And with my skill level, and I've really taken to play that the people that I'm working for are people trying to build a brand. They're not a business, they're not a company, they're not even small businesses. If I do, like, I have worked with small businesses before, and I will charge them a little bit more because of the amount of people and the amount of reach that they're going to get.
And everything.
Yeah, exactly. And for design files and stuff. But these people are gamers that are like, one, especially with COVID going on right now, a lot of people are just giving it a shot. Now's the time. I'm home all the time. I'm going to play games. I'm going to make money, blah, blah, blah. And that's why the webcams are sold out.
I know.
And it's insane. It's just it's definitely a different clientele, I suppose. But they're not made of money, and I understand that, and I have fun doing it. And while I almost take it into play that I'm going to be doing this on stream, so it's content for me, and people are learning Illustrator through me and asking questions. And if not, they're just there to enjoy. You know, they might be at work, bored as hell, and they have me on Lurk or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever it might be. And I try and put that into my price a little bit. It has raised a little bit since I started, but not much.
I think it's good. Like, you deserve it. But I also think that you make a very good point, because at face value, I would consider you like almost undervaluing it slightly. But at the same time, with all the factors, like, you're trying to help out smaller people that don't have big budgets. You're getting content out of it, which can also generate, you know, like subs and things like that. And also, I feel like you have the volume, so it almost balances out, because you can go X amount of dollars, but you're getting one every day almost, you said. So I mean, that's more or less good.
Yeah. And for every commission I work on, they have a friend that just got into it as well. And, you know, hey, this guy did my logo. He's cool. He'll do it on stream for you. He'll watch you do it. Easy to talk to, I think, at least.
Yeah.
You know, that one logo that I hooked up someone with might turn into a bigger, deal later on. I mean, heck, I worked with a commission not too long ago. He just hit affiliate on Twitch, so he's able to make money and stuff now. And he's from Australia, and he has a friend who's starting a car detailing company in Australia. And now I'm working with car detailing businesses in Australia. How else would I have made that connection? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, those are good connections and good points there. With designing on Twitch and like the mascot world and things, when you make the pre-made stuff, how do you go about doing that? Like, do you just sell them the files with editable text or something?
So I actually include a name change and a color change. Let's say I made a gorilla mascot, and they really like that. They want a gorilla as their mascot. But I put a random name under it. They'll be like, hey, my name's Gorilla Greg. And then I'll just delete, you know, I have the Illustrator file, obviously. I'll delete everything, change the colors if they want a blue gorilla instead of a purple one, whatever it might be. It's super simple to do in Illustrator. But I usually include those. Actually, I hate to admit it, but those never sell. The Premades people, that's more or less for content, showing off what's possible. I sold a couple. But yeah, people like a custom brand, and I don't know. I like that. It's a challenge at the same time.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of people definitely want things that you wouldn't have known to make pre-made. You know, like, you're not going to make a pre-made of a random guy as like someone from Naruto or something.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's strictly for content. If I can't think of something, or if it's just an off day and I'm not feeling like doing commissions on stream, I'll just, you know, what show have I been watching? What's the hot new anime? What's the hot new, you know, whatever? What's the, you know, the season right now, the holiday? I've been doing a lot of like holiday pieces. And just take that into play just to bring people in. They're like, whoa, that May penguin looks cool. Like, maybe I could do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it gives people inspiration for contracting you and things. Yeah. Do you, a lot of your stuff seems to stem from anime and like Star Wars and all that, like kind of stuff. Is that stuff you've always been into and just kind of brought it into that world?
Yeah, for sure. You know, with gaming comes, sorry, my dog's being super needy right now. I've just always been a bit of a weeb. I love anime growing up ever since Toonami. Oh my God, I don't know if you're old enough to remember.
It was like Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah, it's almost like Adult Swim before Adult Swim. It was nighttime, late at night. They put on like the Japanese
like Bleach and shit. They put on a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's where it stemmed from. And I always watch it in English, and I realized, this is a Japanese show, and man, the world just opens up.
I know. I was watching dub for a while. I finally, like a couple years ago, 3, 4 maybe, I finally started watching sub, and I was like, now I don't have to wait 5 years to watch the next season.
That's nice. Yeah, there's a lot of like gatekeeping behind that whole argument, and it's like, just enjoy it. However you watch it, dub or sub, as long as you're enjoying it, we're homies.
Yeah, it doesn't. That stuff. It's funny the things that people like argue about. Yeah,
really. I mean, it's in anything, whether even to the design world. People can argue about a certain whatever, design.
Like all the rules and things.
Yeah. Like I don't rule like the what is it called? The circles, the circles, the golden ratio, I think it's called. Like And just like, I mean, I use guides once in a while, but like really just for mirroring mascots, not much. So I know some people are just looking at my stuff like, what is this guy doing?
I feel like a lot of people too, they're kidding themselves. Like they force that, like they add that grid in after and be like, look, this was the Fibonacci sequence or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, whoa, cool, dude. Like,
it'll just be like a circle with all these crazy lines going through it.
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, and it's just like, I know that's what looks good to the human eye, but like, I don't know, it's almost your style in a sense. You know, you see like a painting that's all over the place and doesn't look like a human, but it does to that artist. And it's like, that's what art is, you know, it's not about being perfect sometimes.
So a lot of your stuff's based like around like being symmetrical, right? So are you able to just kind of work on one side a lot of the time?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I do try and switch it up a little bit to kind of make it not look so stiff. A lot
of times like something special on the left or whatever.
Exactly, yeah, just the left, or like, you know, crossing swords even will help a little bit. Whatever it might be, it just helps bring it a little bit more spice instead of looking so stagnant, just being like, this is a head. But even with that, you know, I still got a lot of learning to do. It's definitely still new to me. I've been at it for about 2 years now. But yeah, I'm excited to keep it going.
Yeah, and you seem to you've had like, I think, I don't even really remember how I found out about you. I honestly think when I was going to look into Twitch, I just typed in like graphic design and you were like streaming at the time. So
really?
I just hopped in there and I was like, oh, this shit's dope. And then I just been following you around, not around, but following you since then. And how'd you like go about all the JediGreg stuff? Has that always been kind of like a brand or?
A little bit, you know, I've always loved Star Wars ever since I was a kid. Surprisingly enough, I don't get the nickname from liking Star Wars so much. I got it from skateboarding. I do a lot of like, I don't know if you know skateboarding lingo or anything or tricks, but I do a lot of bonelesses, no complies, just a lot of like,
old school tech shit.
Yeah, like old school 80s hand plants. You know, I prefer transition, you know, the park, the bowls, half pipes, whatever it be. And someone one day was like, dude, you look like a Jedi skateboard. And I was like, I like that. I'm gonna start going by JediGreg. And that was my first Instagram. It was actually originally was the photography.
Oh, so that was that you just switched it over, right?
I switched it over, which was very scary to do. I don't know if you know how you have to do it on Instagram, but you have to like delete your name and then you have to wait 20 days or it's like 29 days or something weird. And then on that 29th day, you have to change your other account. You can't just swap them.
Oh, really?
So that was a pain. I was like on the 29th day, I set a reminder on my calendar. I was like, when did I change this?
Oh, so you made a new one and then you switched your personal to like just Greg or whatever?
Yeah, it was the Instagram that you're following is JediGreg TV at the time. And I don't know. I don't like TV in name. I just think it looks silly. I just like the common JediGreg. So now my old photography account, which I first started way back when Instagram started, is JediGregory. That's on my all my old photos. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What my mom calls it.
Do you still do any of that stuff at all, or are you mostly
photos? A little bit here and there. I mean, mostly the dogs, if I'm being honest. Just dogs, you know, little hikes here and there. Since working from home and COVID, it's kind of been, I don't know. I don't really like taking pictures of my house. You know, I have the best lighting. I'm more of like I got into it because of skateboarding. I like taking pictures of other people and just random. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it hasn't been as much, unfortunately. When COVID first started, they shut down all the parks. They literally wheelbarrowed in or, you know, bulldozered in sand.
They did that at Venice over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did.
Filled it with sand because everyone was still going.
Yeah. And they're like, nope, it's all clear now. You can go skate and stuff. But it was at the same time as I moved to the city. Don't really know a lot of people here, so it just kind of died down, the whole photography thing. But now I have an extra webcam for my streams, so that's nice.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
do
a nice
the
quality.
like the hand, right? Or the like.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it kind of like it's not here right now, but I have a tripod right here, and it looks down at my desk, so you can see my my mouse and keyboard. And when I sketch and stuff, I'll zoom in and stuff. It just gives people a little bit more of an atmosphere to look at instead of looking at a screen and me, you know. And half the time I'm like looking down, so it's not really fun to just watch someone's top of their head. So now you know
a lot too. I always wear hats because my hair is always all messed up. So sometimes if I'm like I'll like go hunchback or something and I'm leaning in on the desk and it's just like this, it's like I'm trying to hide my identity or something.
Yeah, it's been fun though. I've been liking it. I definitely want to mess around a little bit more, but it's a process, little by little.
So do you have any other, is this pretty much like the Twitch, the commissions through all the like esports? Is that like full-time everything, or do you have any other?
Yeah, as of recently, this is the first year where I officially have not had a separate job.
And were you doing a design job or just like random jobs?
Before, no, I've always been like manual labor, working at car washes, detailing. I worked at a campground up in Flagstaff for like 6 years before that. That was my most previous job. It doesn't snow. I mean, of course, it doesn't snow all year round, but it's the only place in Arizona where it snows basically a decent amount. I mean, the higher you go, you get some, but Flagstaff.
That's like where NAU is and stuff, right?
Yeah. That's where I met all my skateboarding friends. Got the photos a lot more there. A lot of young kids just, starting, college kids skateboarding. Met some of my best friends up there. I worked as a bouncer for a summer. That was awkward.
Any like crazy things happen during that?
Oh man, I mean, every night I'd say just about. I remember my first night. I was just like so nervous. I was like, oh man. I first of all, I don't know why they looked at me and said, "We'll hire you as a bouncer." I went in there for like a bar. Yeah, well, that and like I'm not the biggest dude. Like I'm not huge. The first night it was drag night, and I was looking around at the crowd, and I was like, people are gonna fight. Like I know it, because my first night I'm on edge. And then it ended up being the entertainers. They just started going at it. They were doing their karaoke, someone was singing, and the entertainers were waiting in line. I don't know what happened, but they just started going at it, ripping each other's hair out. And I was like, this is my first fight I have to break up. Like, of course. it's not. I was looking at the college kids like something's gonna happen. Of course, it's the entertainment that I had to break up. But it was fun. I mean, not fun, but it was a good experience, I'd say.
And now you just get to play video games and design on the internet. So that's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's wild. I've been very fortunate, and anyone who's like, I'm not talking to anyone specifically, but anyone who gets into Twitch affiliate and they think, I'm quitting my job, I just got affiliate, I'm making money playing games. It's like, don't do it, dude. It's not worth it. It's such a competitive field, let alone the design world, but the gaming world. I've just been lucky, I think. I mean, I hate to like say, it's been all luck, but it took a lot of time. And fortunately, I have a girlfriend who has an awesome job, so she was able to like support me for a little bit while we were, first getting settled in. And it's just awesome to have someone that's like, you do your dreams, and I was able to do it, luckily.
That's dope. Yeah, you heard him. Don't quit your job if you get 50 followers.
Don't do it. I mean, grats to you, but it's very, very scary. And it happens too much. You see it on Twitter, people like, I quit everything, and they almost blame the community. Like, I quit my job for this, and nobody watches me, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I hate to say it, but yeah, it's you. If anything, something's not working.
I want to get to that point of, because I work at a day job still. It's design related, but I want to be able to not necessarily be like only a YouTuber or streamer, but just doing freelance design as well as those things, and teaching people things and creating content that way. I mean, like there's been weeks where I have been not employed, or I have a ton of time off for any type of holiday or things, and it feels so nice, like just doing all this. Like it doesn't feel like work when you're working on like separate projects in that way.
What's the old age saying? You enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life. That's the new American dream in my eyes.
I know. It's interesting how the change, because people used to think you have to have the security. If you don't have an employer, what are you doing? You're probably like a bum or something. But no, you can make it work. It may not be the easiest route, but neither is becoming a bajillionaire. I know. And like artists in all types of industries and creatives, you have like music producers, musicians, fine artists, photographers, gamers, all this stuff. I mean, designers obviously, but it's like, if anything, it's one of the most lucrative like things you can get into now. I'm not saying it's easy. I think it's a lot more risky. It's like a higher risk endeavor, but when I went to school in Northern California in Chico. That's where I went to college. And when I first got there, because I started doing design in high school a little bit, like my teacher made us trace the Batman logo with the pen tool and like shit like that to learn how to do stuff. So I got there and I was like, I want to do design. And then people were like, design, like, you're not going to make any money. I thought that was just like your high school thing. And I was like, oh shit. So the first semester I changed to business, and then I go to like one of the things and I'm like, fuck this. I'd rather be broke and doing design than do any of this. And then I realized like, it's not necessarily the case. It's not like you have to choose a creative profession or money, you know. It's definitely a lot easier too with the internet and everything.
The internet's just opened up a whole new world, literally. I got that a lot, but I always say, like, you know, we're going to probably need plumbers forever because there's always going to be plumbing. We're always going to need logo designers. There's always going to be new businesses. We're always going to need branding because there's always going to be people who need to brand themselves or, you know, their company, whatever it might be. So it's the same instance. Again, it's definitely a more competitive field, I'd say, than plumbing. but just enjoy what you do. Don't make it a job. Make it fun, and then eventually the job will find you, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like enjoying everything what you do, how have you been doing during like COVID and everything? Have you been able to, like, what helps you find the passion to like continue just going hard every day?
I really think Twitch has a lot to do with it, because a lot of people have lost meeting up with their friends, going out and having drinks or watching a movie with their friends. But the people I found on Twitch, they're on the internet. They're some of my best friends, and I've never even met them. Mm-hmm. And I can get on Discord, let's say like what we're doing right now, and share my screen. We could watch a movie together, have some drinks, and it's like, I feel like I haven't been affected as much. I'm a bit of a homebody already, so it hasn't been killing me. I do feel for the people who do want to go out and party. I definitely do miss it, and going to see your parents or your grandparents, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I've been all my family's out east. It's been years since I've seen them. And if anything now, it's like, dang, I should have went last year. Like I missed my chance. Other than that, just missing family, not being able. I could get on a plane and go back home, but am I going to? Not. I'm going to wait a little bit at least. Yeah. I'm going to play it safe.
Maybe do some IRL streams from the plane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel this. I feel a similar way. I feel very fortunate and grateful that I didn't get decimated by any of this economic lockdown or anything. My day job I'm currently working at, actually I got hired like in March, so that was like nice. When it started. They're like, we need someone. And then that's perfect. If anything, freelance has somewhat been up because people don't have money, but they're investing in branding. People are, like you were saying, everyone's starting gaming, everyone's starting music, podcasts. I had the idea to do all this, and that all hit, and I was kind of like, I didn't assume everyone felt the same way, but I was like, perfect, COVID, I'm about to start the YouTube channel. I go to Guitar Center, they're like, we sold all our Focusrite interfaces.
Really?
They're like, we have no mics, like everything was just sold out, webcams, mics, all that.
Yeah, it's almost.
Why'd you build that? Like the new setup? What was the
new setup? My old computer, it just it was like 5 years old, which doesn't sound old, but in the gaming world, every 5-6 years, roughly, you want to update. Yeah, so I got a new graphics card, new CPU, and new motherboard. Everything. I kept the same RAM and fans and case.
Did you get a 3000 card?
I wish, dude. No, I've got a 2070.
That's what I have.
You can't find them like anywhere. It's
crazy. I have a 2070 Super. I built this computer in same time, but right before February or so. And I was actually helping my girlfriend set up her computer, and my card is worth like $300 more than it was around then.
It's insane, dude. It's just like the same thing, everyone wanting to start something new. Everyone wants to build all right, now I'm going to be home all the time. Now time to build a super beefy computer. Mm-hmm. It's like, but I was here first building beefy computers before COVID. now you're skyrocketing all the prices. Luckily,
it's like when everyone got into Bitcoin and wanted to mine it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is a random tidbit, but like back in high school, I remember that this kid coming up to me and be like, dude, Bitcoin. I'm like, get out of here, dude. Like, that's not gonna, like, it's just like you're like that one shot. I could have been so rich right now if I put some money into it.
And if you're 29 in high school, that would have been like Bitcoin was like $10, right?
Yeah,
like,
I graduated in 2010. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but he's actually doing really well for himself, and I have a feeling that maybe he did, buy some Bitcoin and waited on for it for so long. Because I don't remember the price exactly, but he was like, dude, just put like $200-$300 towards it. And if I had that much in Bitcoin,
I'm buying a new skateboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need a new skateboard. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. But you live and you learn.
So how for COVID then as well, you have, I'm assuming your business as well, like, has it been going up kind of actually, or it's about the same?
Yeah, I'd say it's gone up quite a bit. I mean, I don't know numbers or anything. I'm really bad about keeping all that in check, but how much income has been coming has been a lot better. But also, with growth, that helps as well. So I'd say a pretty good margin. Again, I don't know the exact numbers, but pretty good amount. Yeah.
That's good. Nice. Yeah. It's just, I'm not like trying to be like, how much money do you make, but it's interesting hearing the differences in people. It ranges from, no job to, like it's never been this much work or whatever.
Yeah, it's been busy.
And I mean, shout out to all the people who have to work at like Whole Foods and the grocery stores and all that stuff, because I work remotely as well, and I feel the same way. It's like, where was I even going anyway?
Right.
I was hanging out with friends, but like at the house, maybe. I'm not like really going out that much.
Yeah, I'm not a bar guy or anything. I don't really go out downtown or whatever. Once in a while, with family members, go get some dinner. But other than that, I got me, my girlfriend, my dogs. I'm good to go.
I think it's a good time too for the like creative world and things, because I've definitely gotten into a lot of different things during this time, and I always encourage people. I like seeing all my friends starting podcasts and things like we were saying, and it's really dope, because I feel like it's opening up people's eyes to these type of career paths, and also remote work in general. Like, why are you driving an hour and a half to the office when you're working in Excel all day or whatever you may be doing?
Yeah, right before I started the whole, like when I decided, all right, no more job. I make enough on Twitch. I make enough on commissions. I sold my truck. I sold my dirt bike. I had some savings just in case if things went wrong. And now I'm chilling. You
have a car though, or nothing?
No, my girlfriend, she has a car. Okay. So if anything, we'll use hers. But again, we don't really go out a whole lot, especially being, I'm not a city guy. Now we live in the city. So I'm just like, I'll stay in my little apartment. It's fine. It's all
I haven't been driving a lot either. I noticed I filled up my gas like a couple times during this whole
thing, it's been nice. Maybe helping that greenhouse gas a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Especially out here, man. There's hella people in LA.
Crazy. Oh, you're in LA? Okay.
Yeah, I live in Hollywood. It's packed.
Oh, nice. Cool.
What made you, was the move to Arizona like anything related to like your business or freelance or anything like that?
Not so much, honestly. Like, being from out east, right after high school, I was just like, I'm moving to California. I found the first, ironically enough, from a person I gamed with. He was like, hey, I've got an extra bedroom. I've got a job I can hook you up with. Come to California. And I was like, yes, this is my chance. I'm going to do it. Again, never met him, so it was a little sketchy, driving across all the way the country. And
Philadelphia, you said, or Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Philly. I was just outside of Philly, like 45 minutes.
Cool.
Packed up my little Honda Civic, drove across the country, got to California. Now, when I say California, I'm thinking Venice Beach. I'm thinking babes on the, roller blades on the boardwalk. He lived in Sacramento. I didn't realize that it wasn't like a beachy vibe. I knew it was a little bit north, but I thought, maybe I'll go, do some beach trips. It won't be that big of a deal, but it was just moving from one city to another. And I was just not what I was expecting. The guy that I, we're okay now, but it was just like, wasn't a good living situation. I had to leave when his girlfriend came over. It was just very weird.
What?
Yeah, it was super, I'm not going to get into it, but it was a very weird situation. And at that time I was freaking out. I was like, I gave up everything. I broke up my girlfriend. Yeah, for Sacramento. No offense to anyone.
Hey, if you're from Sacramento, it's all good. I went to school in Chico, and Sacramento was the best thing we had. So
yeah, nice. Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty close. I think. I don't know the geography that well, but yeah, it just wasn't my vibe. I just wasn't feeling it. I was expecting beachy, whatever. So at this point, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I gave up everything. I had just broken up with my girlfriend of like 2 years back east to go pursue my dream of skateboarding, make it in the skateboarding community. And I'm freaking out, and I'm like, what do I do? Well, I have a lot of aunts and uncles who, my mom had me pretty young, so my aunts and uncles raised me a bit. And one of them was in Arizona in Flagstaff. And he's like, dude, don't just drive back home. Like, come to Arizona. I've got a couch. It's not going to be a luxury, but try it out. I can get you a job at a bar, aka the bouncy job. And I spent a couple seasons up there in Flag, and then I met my girlfriend, my now girlfriend. So we've been together for a while now. And she worked at the campground. And have you ever heard of KOAs, Campgrounds of America?
Mm-mm.
They're like all over the country, but it's basically a franchise campground, and it's more RVs than anything.
Yeah.
There is tent camping, there's cabins and stuff you can stay at, but I worked there, did maintenance, just fixing random stuff around the campground, cleaning bathrooms. It was the best job in the world, but it paid the bills. I was able to hang out in Flagstaff, got our own place, and we ended up coming down here to Phoenix because she got a better job offer, not as a campground, and I figured this is the time to try and make it what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? A lot of that stuff that you've went through. I mean, you don't really know how much of effect it could have had on the stylistic choices that you've made with all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
Do you have any like who or what are like some of your biggest inspirations, do you think, in terms of like where you get stuff from for your work?
It's all over the place. Definitely a lot from the skateboarding community. Lance Mountain, he drew like a bunch of his old boards, just like old 80s skateboarding designs.
Like old like Santa Cruz shit and stuff.
Santa Cruz. I love that stuff. The screaming hand. That's right. Yeah. But speaking of, because I think I saw your post, but Draplin, that was the first book I've ever bought.
The everything.
Yeah. I thought I had it next to me, but I didn't. And that just opened it up because he came from the snowboarding industry. I think originally, like he was doing graphics for that. And I was like, I could be the skateboarding Draplin.
Yeah, you almost have a similar like kind of background to that, like you can just tell with his style and like his background, like it was like some blue collar shit, And I think that you bring like that strongness and things into your design work, because a lot of people like in the design world, it's very like tech office, I feel like it's interesting, you bring a lot of different elements. You have the background, you have all your interests in pop culture, anime, you got the Stormtrooper computer, all that stuff. And I mean, it all comes together, I think, for like a pretty sweet blend. Is there anyone else like maybe that you follow that's a little smaller we could throw for some inspiration down in the description?
Oh man, I mean, besides you.
Oh shit, thanks, man.
No worries.
But no, hey, you can also send me some stuff. I just like to, I like to plug the viewers with some other stuff to check out and everything.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I'm so bad at remembering Instagram names, but there's this one dude that I follow. I believe he's not English speaking. I think it's either Philippines or somewhere in Southeast Asia.
There's a lot of design in like in that area.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to see, and I just love their style. But there's this guy where I get a lot of my. I started whenever I drew like characters and stuff, I always gave them gauges, even if they didn't have gauges. I was like, I think gauges are cool. I used to have. I don't know anymore. And every single character he draws, he has gauges on him, and I'm just like, this dude is just out there, just such a cool style. But I'll definitely send you some stuff on Instagram. There's people that I follow and like. But I love colors, man. I love vibrant colors. Yeah, I like word marks and letter marks with black and white. It's just so boring to me. And I know obviously you need to do that with a lot of businesses and stuff for branding sakes or merch sakes, whatever it might be. But if I can make that vibrant pink and blue, I'm going to throw it on there, you know? But man, other than that, other small people, just a lot of random people I've met on Twitch as well. GP Jess, for example, just capital GPJES. And
Cool.
she ironically lives here in Phoenix, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and she found me on Twitch. And at first, we were talking about this in the beginning of the podcast. I was like, oh man, people that have been doing this forever are going to give me shit. Like, what are you doing? She was doing that. And I was like nervous at first. I was like, she's been in the design world for years. She's, I think, 10 years older than me. So she's been doing it for a while. And she'd be like, why are you doing this when you can do this? And at first I took it as like, damn, this chick's being mean to me, bro.
Trying to help you that, right?
Yeah. But then she messaged me and was like, hey, sorry. Like, I hope you don't take offense to it. Like, you know, I'm just trying to like help if I can. And I was like, you know what? I don't know why I was thinking like that. And I talked to her and I got on the phone with her, or not on the phone, Discord, like what we're doing. And I've changed, not my style per se, but my process of working in Illustrator and line work and stuff. And it's just made it 10 times better. And I'm like, I was going to push her away. I was going to be like, you know, let me do my thing. And now I think I've improved as an artist, and just, again, my workflow has just gotten 10 times better because I took her advice.
Dope.
So, you know, it's always good to learn.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you got a good thing going for yourself. You got a great community. I mean, it seems like you're constantly growing, and I really appreciate it, man. And the last thing I wanted you to do is just throw out all your shit, where we could find you, cool. Everything.
Rad, dude. Well, thank you so much. It was awesome meeting you, dude. You know, I was a little nervous. We never met each other besides just liking shit on Instagram. Yeah. Excuse my French. I apologize if I'm cussing up a story.
Nah, you're good, man. This is
but it's cool. You know, this is like we were saying, this is the time to make connections and meet people who you might never talk to in your entire life. And a lot of people are afraid to do this, you know, maybe face-to-face thing, but, you know, give it a shot. It might be worth it. You're going to make some connections that way. But yeah, as he introduced me, JediGreg. I stream Monday through Thursday on Twitch, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I make it easy because people don't understand Arizona time zones.
Yeah.
And I stream art Monday through Thursday. If you enjoy the games, we do it Friday as well. On Instagram, simple JediGreg. Twitter, JediGreg. Nice. Besides that, check out my portfolio. Sometime you can find them on any of those socials, and I'd love to work with any of you guys.
Sweet, man. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And everyone, definitely check this guy's stuff out. And if you want any types of mascots, all that cool bad shit, he's the go-to for sure. I would recommend him highly. And I like that you keep it JediGreg on everything, so it's not confusing. It's really good. So thank you, man, and I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone. And if you enjoyed this, you know, drop a like, rate me on iTunes, all that, you know. But yeah, thank you, man.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it again.